let's see here. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I've run into one small hiccup that I'm trying to fix. And once we get that sorted, we should be all good. My camera is being a little bitchy. That's all right. Why aren't you turning on? Hold on, let me look at this. Why is this not... It was working just fine literally a second ago. Okay. This goes in here. Ah, come on, man. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you turning on? Y'all doing all right this morning? I apologize for the scuffed start, but fucking figures, dude. Okay, there shouldn't be any issues with the battery. Also, this camera has no excuse to be, like, problematic. This thing is so damn expensive. And it's been working so nice up until this point. And all of a sudden... Ah, that's what the problem was. Ah, I see, I see. Okay, I figured it out. Wasn't the camera's fault. It was the cord's fault. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Problem solved. Sure that's on there nice and good, and then do that, and then I need to turn on the light. So the only bad thing is that I had been relying on my laptop, or I was going to. That way I could see both chats at once. But it turns out that my laptop is, the cord is broken. So it can't build up a charge. So it doesn't work. That's okay though, we'll deal with it. Alright, so I need to open utility. Oh wait, you're not. God damn it. Okay. Okay, now open utility. Okay. Remote shooting. I need the live view. I'm going to turn that off. And then we should be able to just switch to this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to be doing my best to read both chats, but it's going to be a little hard. I'm gonna have YouTube chat on my phone, so I can see y'all, just because I know that's where most everyone's gonna be. And then for Twitch chat, I'll have to like turn around and look, which is certainly not ideal. So for future streams, what we're probably gonna have to do is only stream on one platform instead of both. Until I can get that issue resolved. How are y'all doing today, though? Man. Finally. Okay, can everybody see? I bet it froze because I moved it down. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this like this. Move my hand down there. Okay, so let's maneuver this just a smidge. So I'm going to bring you guys up a hair. Here. And then we're going to bring y'all over. There we go. Bring y'all over. Sorry, y'all probably are like, giant hairy legs. We'll bring y'all over a bit. Like, maybe more like this. I'm trying to get you like kind of 90-degree angle. Oh, there we go. There we go, that'll work. Nope, spin the other way, please. How am I doing today? I'm good. I've been looking forward to this, even though I can already tell it's gonna be super scuffed. But you know what? You gotta start somewhere, right? You gotta start somewhere. So this will be our worst painting stream ever. But from then on, we'll only get better. No, I do have pants on. I have shorts on. But, okay, so let's get out everything we need. Unfortunately, my timing was a little off with the stream because I was like, oh, I'll just, skip breakfast. And then my family was like, hey, we made breakfast. You should come be part of the family. It's like, okay. It's good to see you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Should be pretty chill. I'm not anticipating any major issues. We've got glue in case we need it. And we're only going to be streaming for about 3 hours because after 3 hours, Voice Snacks is starting his... I'll mute that. He is starting his charity stream, I believe, in about 3 hours. And we want to make absolutely sure that we roll out in support of that. That's going to be important to support, in my opinion. Okay, do I have everything. Oh, water, obviously. Gotta have water. Alrighty. So we've got our... You know what? I'm going to dump these out and do it again real quick. Many of y'all have met Chloe, my dog, which I love Chloe, but unfortunately, she sheds like it's the last thing she can do on this earth, which can cause problems, and I need paper towels. Damn it, I knew I forgot something. I knew I forgot something! 1 second. I gotta get paper towels. Okay. Now we've got paper towels. Oh, goodness. Ugh. So, now we have everything that we need. Can y'all hear me okay? Yep, okay, good. I'm excited for this. This will be fun. I haven't painted... Actually, you know what? It's not that hard for me to just turn around and look at chat. Which is good, because I'm actually going to need my phone to, like, look at my old paint, like, guides. Because I have not painted in so long, dudes. Like, it has been months since I've painted anything. And I mean anything. Okay, so we've got our palette over here. We've got some... These are actually pretty useful for certain effects or certain abilities. Because if there's one thing I don't like about GW that I can happily say loudly, is that they have a really terrible habit of, like, scattering how to paint certain colors or how to paint certain effects over, like, the four corners of the universe, and they just sort of expect you to find that information. No Sotek cam? No, I can't do a... I cannot do a face cam and a paint cam at the same time. But the good news is we do have everything we need. So today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to finish these guys. So let me kind of zoom y'all in a bit. And then I can just tell the camera to, like, hey, look here, dummy. So these are my Glittery Stalkers. I've got a couple of these guys lying around that I didn't finish for some reason. They're like partially done. So like this guy is a little ways close to being done, but like this guy barely has anything done to him, as you can see. Like I've done his blade, which is all like rusted and gnarly looking, and that's basically all I've done so far. So we're gonna be, there's 3 of these guys. We're gonna try and finish them up today. And I'm actually gonna turn up the light a little smidge more. Let's see. There, that's better. All right. So I think, I don't think we're going to do this guy just yet. Gosh darn. It's weird coming back to this. Because your brain is just like short-circuiting. You need better lighting. You know, it'll probably make y'all's life easier if I adjust the angle you're looking at. I am going to get another one of these. And let's actually bring the light a little bit closer down. There we go. Because unfortunately, this light right now is only coming from a single direction. I can't really... But what I can do is bring this light over here closer. Which will help a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. Don't worry though, when I'm holding them, you should be able to see them okay. Because I'll be essentially holding them like this while I'm working. Okay, so we could finish the base colors on this guy. Man, I stopped working on this guy at a super awkward spot. Should start painting your 400 points of Sylvaneth? You should. Well, it's only 400 points. Because once it gets past 400 points, you're going to have a bad time. Like, the only reason I get intimidated looking at my own models is because I'm sitting there staring at it like, oh god, I have so much to do. Okay, yeah, I guess we could finish this guy. That's fine. What are we going to do for the stone? I think I had... Ah, that'll work. So for the stone, we're going to go Mechanicus, Actrax, Dawnstone. Okay, cool. So, we're going to start with this guy that's already kind of been started on. And just start dry brushing everything. That is probably not an advisable, advisable way to start that. Oh yeah, I saw that version of Bone that I wanted to try. Okay, I've got memories coming back. So let's start with a small base brush. And we're going to begin, we're going to be finishing up this dude. So for him, why are you not letting me touch? Jesus, okay, there we go. So what we're going to be doing with this guy is we need to base coat the wood, the stone. We're not going to worry too much about the plants just yet. We need to base coat the bird, which the birds we're going to probably cheat pretty hard on. It's probably just going to be like chaos black with some gray highlights. And then we got to do the bone. So that's all we're going to be that's what we're going to be working on base coating. This guy's a lot busier than most of the Glittery Stalkers. But we will, we'll manage. So, we are base coating. Where's all the colors I need? You're going to be good to have. We need... Where are you? Let's see. Most of my colors are kind of here just off screen. Rakarth's Flesh. That's one that we need. Boom. We also need... What is it? Lead Belcher? Yep. Lead Belcher. And... Where's my Mechanicus Gray? Is it over here? Nope, that's Dawnstone. We will need that later, but not right now. Skaven Blight Dinge. Closer. Dark Reaper. Not quite. Wait, are these all layer paints? Because if I organized it where these are all layer paints... Okay, yeah. That'll make life a lot easier. So I know my Mechanicus Standard is not going to be in that pile. It's going to be over here. Ah, there it is. Mechanicus Standard. And then the last thing I need is Incubi Darkness. Which should be right there. Boom. Very nice. Happy little trees. Well, I mean, they've got happy little gravestones. What's the army list? Pure Nighthaunts or Legion of Grief? They are pure Nighthaunt. I do not like to run Legion of Grief. I play AOS. I do. It's true. I don't hate on AOS on this channel. I highly encourage people to explore it and give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's totally cool. You know, not everything is for everyone, so if you try and get into it and you're like, oh man, I just can't, I'm just not having a good time with this, that's, you know, understandable, totally cool. But, you know, that is not me. I used to hate AOS, but then I gave it a pretty big fair shot, and turns out that I really liked it. It just took a little bit getting used to. Alright, so right now we're mixing up all the paints. Oh, we're also going to need Chaos Black. Or Abaddon Black. Sorry, I forgot they renamed it. Apparently Chaos Black wasn't good enough. It had to be Abaddon Black. Was expecting Seraphim? I'm not a huge fan of the Seraphim model range right now. Like, some of the models are really cool and are fairly updated, but a lot of the models aren't. Like, modern day Saurus make me want to jump off a bridge. The thought of even trying to paint them. Like, no thank you. Absolutely no thank you. God, is this black even, like, responding to these shakes? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, and we're just going to pray to the paint gods that I don't spill anything. Okay, so we're already pretty much done with the Incubi Darkness. I don't think this guy needs any more Incubi Darkness. If anything, I'm going to have to lighten up the little frills, but I'm not going to sweat it too much. My goal at the end of the day is just kind of to make these guys, like, tabletop ready. I'm not trying to, like, win any awards. So I'm not going to, like, lose my damn mind if not everything is perfect. Are those bones? What is that? Yeah, we'll worry about the base last. I'm not going to worry about the base. Okay, so the only thing is it looks like we really need to do This looks like we've already covered it in typhoon corrosion, doesn't it? Yeah, that's definitely been corroded already. Okay. So we're going to do the wood and the stone, the bird, and the bone. Yep. Okay. So let's start with let's get the wood out of the way. So for the wood we have on the Glittery Stalkers, we start with Mechanicus Standard. I do appreciate you all joining me today. I'm actually kind of nervous, which I normally am not when streaming, just because it's been a really... Man, I hate when there's like that one stray hair, not hair, but whatever these are made out of, fiber, I guess. Maybe bring y'all out just a bit more. There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want a second light, but these lights are really expensive. So, most important thing when painting using GW paints, probably all paints, but especially GW paints, is thin your gosh darn paints. It is better to have your paint be too thin and need multiple layers than have it be too thick. Because if it's too thick, you're going to have a bad time. And unfortunately, I cannot read chat and paint at the same time. So while I'm painting, just kind of bear with me. Especially today. I will figure out a solution to having multiple chats for the next one, but today we're just going to kind of scuff it because we already started. I mean, we started on time, but I had some issues with the battery pack on the camera and some other issues. But hey, at least we can do these now, and I plan on doing these fairly regularly. Not once a day, but probably a few times a week. So these will be good streams to just kind of come hang out and listen to me ramble. They're probably going to be almost like podcast-like in a sense, because while there will be points where I like stop to read the chat and focus on what y'all are saying, there are going to be other times where I am trying really hard not to screw up the model. I wonder if I should get a wet palette at some point. Big thing is I need to start doing research again. Whenever I was painting on a really regular basis, I would actually do a ton of research in order to like really get a handle on all the different techniques and like what paints I wanted to use. Cause like this is one of the models I painted before I understood how to use Lamy and medium, and you can tell because the gradients on these little like tendrils here are really, really bad. Like they're really ugly looking. Which I'm not really sure if I can fix that at this point. Well, I bet I can, but you know, that'll take time and investment. But yeah, so you know, feel free to type in chat, especially to one another. And when I finish this little bit I'm working on, I will check it out. But oops, Butterfingers. As far as what I've been up to lately, I actually read through the entirety of the Realmgate saga. So those of you who maybe have been following the channel will know that I actually went on a bit of a spending spree to get my hands on the entirety of the Realmgate saga. The big books, not the little books. The little books are like novels, but you can pick those up really easy. The big books, where all of like the big events happen, there's technically 5 of them, even though Games Workshop tells you there's only 4, they're lying. There's actually 5, because the prequel book, which you need to have to like get the full story, for whatever reason, the prequel book does not count. Because they literally label, they're like, oh, you want the Realmgate saga? Well, there's books 1 through 4. But book 1 assumes that you've read the core book for... there's basically like a prequel book called just like Battles in the Age of Sigmar. That's all it's called. And it's that book's actually really easy to find because it's like really cheap. But the other 4, all gates, or well, in order, they're Quest for Galmaraz, Balance of Power, God Beasts, and the All Gates. Finding those was kind of a legit nightmare. Like, it was a huge pain in the butt to find all 4 of them, in my area at least. I know some people, like, especially if you live in like England, you'll probably have an easier time. But yeah, it can be pretty unpleasant. Okay, so that looks good. And then the stone also is going to be this color. I'll check in with y'all in just a sec. Once again, I apologize for the haggardness of not having chat, but y'all are behind me. So I'll probably do like a tour of my setup here. I'll probably do a tour of my setup here pretty soon. But essentially, I have 2 desks in my office that are opposite of one another. And one of them is my painting desk, which I'm at right now. And the other one is my work desk for like streams and videos and stuff. But my original plan was I had this nifty laptop and I was going to use it to have open the stream in front of me while I was on this desk. But the problem with that is the cord broke, so I can't I can't like make a charge on it. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna change some stuff after this stream, and like I said, this is gonna be pretty scuffed because this is my first time doing this. So forgive like if like it keeps going out of focus or if the lighting's kind of bad. Like I will be watching the stream back afterwards and moving around my setup. So like I'm probably gonna, the light is over there, and I'm probably gonna move it so that it's over here. Because there is not a bad spot originally, but like now that I'm looking at it on the camera, it's like, well, okay, y'all are getting way more shadows than I want. Okay, I don't mind if we get pretty messy with this. Any tips for highlighting? I can't figure out how to make my highlights look good. The thing for highlights, in my experience, is that you need to have like a good gradient. And the other thing is that highlights are hard, especially from like up close. In my experience, highlights will look like absolute dog shit to your eyes, really, really up close. And then when you back away and look at it from like a table perspective, they look a lot better. But if you're looking for like a golden demon thing, the best thing I could recommend is literally go onto YouTube and watch, look up Duncan Rhodes. He has a painting academy on YouTube that you can watch, and he also has a bunch of old GW videos when he worked for GW. I would go watch videos of him painting. That is like the best place to learn. That's where I learned a ton of techniques. That being said, I think highlighting is hard as balls. And one of the big issues with people that teach how to paint, in my experience, is they like to do like one of two things. Either they will just sort of like skip over important aspects, like they'll like tell you a technique. They'll be like, just do this, and then they like don't show how to do it very well, or like they'll start painting, like they'll start working on a layer, and you're like, oh, thank God, they're gonna show me what it does, and then they'll just do a time skip to like when it's done. So like they'll show you the first few brush strokes, and then they skip forward, and it's like, oh, that enrages me. Because to them, they're like, oh, I showed you the first few brush strokes, you should be able to fill in the rest. And it's like, no, I suck. I'm new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to see you do all of it. Like, show me, don't tell me. I think that's what separates a really good painting channel from like a really bad painting channel, is if they show rather than tell. Because I think most of them do not. Like, they assume the person they're talking to knows what's going on, but I feel like most people who would be of the level where they feel really proficient enough to not really, like, need really detailed guides, right, are the same people who probably don't need to look up that stuff in the first place. I don't know, that's a personal thing. I think the most important thing I learned, though, honestly, isn't any particular technique. It was learning to, like, kind of let stuff go. But once again, I am not painting to be a master. I am painting to have a fully painted army, so that I can put my army on the table and look at it and feel something akin to pride, which right now I super don't, because a lot of my models are unpainted, which you can see in the thumbnail that I put up. The thumbnail I put up was the last tournament I was at before COVID started, and you can see that a significant amount of my army is unpainted, and they're just literally white spooks, which was not intentional. I'm not interested in playing a Nighthaunt army that is literally like a bunch of spooky ghosts covered in bed sheets. That is not the plan. Oh God, this guy's so busy. Should have painted the stone first on this model. I'm not sure why I painted the ghost first. That was a strange decision. I wish I could talk to past me and ask him what in the world he was thinking. Because this stonework is actually kind of detailed. And the problem is the details are raised, which makes getting to them kind of hard. Because you can kind of see here on the camera that where these raised details are, right here, there's like white around it still, which I need to get to. Which is going to be a little difficult. Someone's doing a teleporting ability in battles? Well, that's pretty wild. Lord of Change from the Battle Force box is pretty good. Yes, it is. Oh, Joey, congrats on getting the Zinch Battle box. That's a really, really good box. I think it's... My nails are not... Well, they're a little long, but my nails... Trust me, usually I'm too lazy to care until they're substantially longer than this. This is nothing compared to that. My nails grow so fast, dude. Well, yeah, Games Workshop's really backed up right now because of COVID. Like, you know, there's nothing that can be done about it. How many models have I painted already? I want to say there's like 20... See, there's 24, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got like 30-something models painted, but one of them's a black coach. So like one of my models is like a really big, monstrous-sized model. So that's nice. Thin. Should get a wet palette. As much as I like these palette pads, they're very convenient. They do have the substantial disadvantage of being kind of annoying because they can dry out pretty quick if you don't hustle. Ah, there we go. Okay, we've got a really nice thing going right now. Good. Well, the good news is I'm probably going to make so many mistakes doing this gravestone part that when I have to clean up the details, I'll have the ability to fix all of the... Why are you not... Jesus. You know what? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I actually really like that these glaive wraiths come with really busy bases. I actually really hate when my models come with, like, super boring bases. Like, they're just flat. And, like, you have to do the details yourself. Like, you have to add stuff. That shit always drives me crazy, because I always feel like I don't add enough to be interesting. And I also don't want to have to buy a whole bunch of, specific garbage. Like, these stalkers come with all these badass tombstones with, like, all these flowers and thorns, which matches Lady Ollander super duper well. Like, they look like a really nice part of the army. But as for, some of the Glaive Ray Stalkers I got were part of the, I want to say the starter set? Or maybe this, I can't remember if these guys are the guys from the starter set, or if the guys from the starter set had basic bases. But one version of my Glaive Wraiths do not have these cool bases. They just have super plain bases, so I had to do it myself. And man, there is a big difference there. Because last I checked, Games Workshop does not sell convenient tombstone basing. They kind of like expect you to buy models that have it and do it yourself. They're like, oh, you want terrain for your base that like fits the undead? Well, just buy a unit of skeletons. Just buy a unit and chop it up and throw it on the base. That'll work. Which they're not wrong, but that's also like, I mean, it's a lot. Buying a whole unit just so I can have a decent looking base. Don't appreciate that. Where's my phone? It's over here. I'll put at least one of the chats on my phone so I can see what y'all see what like YouTube's talking about. Also, I can keep an eye on the time. Because like I said, this will not be the longest stream because we want to make sure we go support the dear, awesome voice actor, Voice Snacks. Okay, so we're almost done with this part. Gotta get around this stupid bird. Come on. we go. Okay, that's all looking okay. There's just the last little bit I gotta get to in there. Get this little spot here. Little spot over here. Not worried about that. Around the bird's feet. Okay. That should be alright. Okie dokie. Yeah, Games Workshop's price point is pretty obnoxious. That is definitely something I 1000% agree with. Games Workshop has like borderline predatory prices. Because like, I think they know a lot of people like myself want to support the company so that the company's doing well. But they make it hard sometimes. Actually, let's do the bird next. Well, I mean, I can afford Games Workshop products, but a lot of people can't, which sucks. Games Workshop does not seem even remotely interested in trying to make their hobby cheaper to get into. They're kind of like, how can we make this even more expensive so we can make more money, even though we're one of the wealthiest hobby companies in the world. Okay, so let's get this stupid bird done. Big old nasty ass crow or raven, whatever it is. Do want to be careful around the base, because I don't want to get it on the tombstone that I just finished working on. Have I watched FlashGit's new Warhammer video? I have no idea who FlashGit's is. So no. I have not. That's why you're only having a small collection of models. That's fair. I mean, for a lot of people, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, you do the hobby that you enjoy. Like, some people want to play... And, like, there is ways to play tabletop that are not expensive. And, like when it comes to my Seraphim, a lot of people are like, oh, man, like, you must spend a ton of money on Seraphim. It's like, well, I guess... like, if you combine it all, but the thing about my Seraphim collection is that I didn't, like, just go out and buy everything, right? My secret was that I bought my Seraphim over, like, many years. Like, I would spend maybe $20 to pick up, like, a single character, and then maybe buy, like, a unit of Saurus, or a unit of like whatever. Like I didn't just go out and buy an army. I went out and literally got it piecemeal over many years. Like I collected Seraphim actively from the age of down here, camera. Thank you. I collected Seraphim actively from like the age of 10 to the age of about I want to say 18. Which you can get a lot of models over 8 years by just kind of slowly picking them up. And that's the other thing, is I think if you put restrictions on yourself, it's actually not that bad. For instance, like one of the things that I do to try and keep myself grounded is I do not let myself buy any models that I don't need. Like, I don't let myself buy any new models until I have finished painting my old models. So, like, if I'm not allowed to buy any Seraphim until I finish painting the Seraphim I have and the Nighthaunts I have. Because the only reason I would buy Seraphim is just to improve my collection, not to play competitive. At least not right now. So, like, I refuse to pick up any new models for them. I think for a lot of people, they don't necessarily have the... They struggle on the, like, the self-control aspect on it, I think. Like, they go out and they'll spend, like, hundreds or thousands of dollars in, like, a big drop. And that's just not gonna... You're gonna have a bad time if that's what you're doing. Okay, bird looks good. Resisting impulses in the modern day is like the easiest way to have a survivable approach to hobbying of any sort, whether it's video games or building PCs, or painting, or whatever. You know, you got to resist impulses, which, you know, sometimes I struggle. Like, I got the Dire Chasms. Well, I don't know if I consider that a bad buy. Like, I got the Dire Chasm set because I really want to play Underworlds. I probably should have waited to get it until later, because, like, with the pandemic and everything, it's not like I can go out and play Underworlds. Okay, so the bird's done, so now we're going to Rakarth Flesh for the bone. So these guys have bone heads, because they have horse heads, horse skulls. And then they also have bone spikes going out of their back. What is that? Oh, Arkard! I was like, what is that noise? Hey, Arkard! Thanks for the raid, my dude. Welcome to the super scuffed... Damn it. Trying out painting on stream and kind of learning what works and what doesn't. We're just kind of chilling out. It's a super duper chill stream. And one thing I'm noticing is that I am much more prone to my... Yeah, I really don't like where I have my light right now. I'm going to have to change that after the stream. Keep making like really annoying little errors, but that's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna keep moving. We're not gonna sweat the small stuff. We're just gonna keep chugging along. You can always fix mistakes later. That's another thing I had to learn when learning to paint. It's that I really liked to be like, oh, I made a mistake. I gotta stop and fix it immediately. No, do not do that. Like, finish what you're doing. You know, paint, finish base coating, finish doing a layer, do all the stuff you gotta do. And once you're done with that paint, then you can go back and fix the errors. Because one thing I've learned is that if you spend too much time fixing errors, you will literally never finish a single model in your life. Especially if you're new to painting. If you're new to painting, you're just going to have to acknowledge that you're going to make mistakes. and your early models are probably going to look really rough, and that's okay. Like, you're learning. It's a process. You're not going to just come out of the gate swinging and make just like golden demons models, which is why I always start with my like core infantry stuff. So like these guys, Glittery Stalkers, like these guys are pretty basic, and the other models I'm going to be working on probably next stream are like chain rasps, which chain rasps are basically like disposable infantry that are just there to die and try and like slow the enemy down. Granted, they can do a lot of damage, but like they're generally just there to be meat shields, and like those are the guys I'm painting right now because I know I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm at peace with that, so I'm painting the models that nobody cares about. You know, when people look at your army, most people are not going to obsess about the models that all look the same. And the surprising thing is that when you have a couple of mistakes on a large group of guys who all generally look the same, a lot of those mistakes are basically invisible, which is kind of funny. My hands are shaky. If they are, I don't notice it. My hands aren't shaky. I've got like little twitches, I guess, but no, I'm not shaking. Gotta run, have an amazing stream. Oh, thanks, Arkard. For anyone that's came over from Arkard's channel, first of all, hello, welcome. We're painting. Yes, I am the same lore master from YouTube. It's true. I'm lore. If you've never heard of me, or maybe you just aren't familiar with me on Twitch, I'm lore master of Sotek. I am one of, if not the premier lore authority when it comes to Warhammer Fantasy. I also do a lot of AOS, which is Age of Sigmar, which is the setting that came afterwards. Today, we're just kind of working on a painting stream, which is a little different than what we normally do. But I play a lot of video games, like Total War, obviously, which is how I know good old Mr. Arkard. But I also play other video games on Twitch. Like, for instance, I did a full playthrough of Hades not too long ago. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, or if you have any questions about Warhammer Fantasy lore, or you enjoy painting, and you just kind of want to hang out here, feel free to follow, and we'd love to have you as part of our little life over here. And, yeah, make yourself at home. Though, if you're like, oh, geez, I want to watch more exciting stuff for Total War, this guy's boring and dumb, the only thing I'll say before you go is please, 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 about 2 hours from now, there's going to be a charity stream of Total War by a content creator named Voice Snacks. I think he's going to be over on YouTube. I don't know if he's going to be on Twitch. But he is the voice of Throt the Unclean from the newest DLC. And he's doing a charity stream, playing himself, essentially. He's going to be playing Throt's Vortex campaign. So you should make absolutely sure to go check that out and donate lots of money for kiddos. So, yeah. If you hate me, okay, bye. Oh, dude, I loved Hades. Hades was amazing. I had such a good time with that game. It was pretty wild. Alright, so, where are we at with this dude? Man, I really wish I had gotten to do this dude from scratch, because I hate how the hands came out. I do not like this. But it's okay, we'll deal with it. Alright, so I think we're pretty much done base coating, because we're going to do the base last and separate. Okay, so, from what I can tell, because I started painting this guy like 8 months ago, and we just kind of came back to him. This is like super grainy and gross looking. So I'm guessing what I did here is I put on a base coat of lead belcher and then covered this in typhus corrosion, which is all gnarly and nasty and stuff. So now what we need to do is, I guess we can go ahead and finish the blade, the steel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use Stormhost Silver to accent it. Actually, I think we should do Riser Rust first. So we're gonna dry brush with Riser Rust, which is a dry paint that's gonna make it look all nasty and spooky. And once we've done that, it's gonna make it look really rusted, essentially. Once we do that, we will then edge highlight with Stormhost Silver to pick out little scratches and make the edges all nice and stuff. So we're gonna start with Riser Rust. Who could hate me? You'd be surprised. It is not hard to find people that don't like me, but that's okay. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and some people are big fans of other creators, so they take it personally and make it like a contest for some weird reason. You know, it's whatever. So I need a small dry brush. Here we go. We've got our small dry brush. So we're going to get some Riser Rust onto our brush here. Oop, this might be a little much. There we go. And then we're just going to get all of it off on this paper towel. We do not want very much on here. And to test if I have enough, I'm basically just going to like hold out my finger and dry brush across it. And my goal is to be catching the ridges. No, focus here. You can't really see it because of the light, but if you can look, you can see that the ridges are orange, but not the entire finger. So that seems good. So we're gonna move to this dude, and we're gonna make this all gnarly. We're going to make this blade essentially look like if you got stabbed by it, you would instantly get tetanus. Because it's old and nasty. Because it's a spooky ghost. Not all of my spooky ghosts have gross, nasty weapons, but this guy does. Or these guys do. Oh, looks like I may have taken a... Well, no, it's coming through. Slowly. That's okay, we're not in a rush. Do have to be careful. Usually I'd apply a little more pressure, but because this guy's blade kind of just hangs in the air, like, you know, we just want to catch the raised surfaces. We don't want to go like too crazy. But I also can't apply too much pressure because this thing's like all wobbly. Probably use just a tiny bit more. My content creator could be your content creator in a fight. Yeah. There are people that do that, for the record. And, like, some people, like, usually what will happen a lot of the time is that one person will start it as, like, a joke, but then it'll, like, spread. And some people don't realize it's a joke. Like, there was someone here on my channel that was making, I don't know if he's in chat or not, but, he was like, he kept making jokes about, like, me fighting Legend of Total War in, like, a Denny's parking lot. And because of how, like, stupid it sounded, I thought it was, like, an Australian thing. Like, it was a Legends community joke. But it turns out it started in my community, and I just didn't know. So, like... And that, like, moved over to his community and became really annoying. Which I still haven't talked to him about. I need to. Because, like, I kind of played into it because I was like, yeah, I guess, who cares? But, like, that kind of shit can get super irritating really quick, depending on, like, you know, who you are. Keep, like, moving my hand out of frame because I'm an idiot. Get these spikes nice and rusted. Alright, that looks pretty gnarly. That looks like a nice tetanus blade, doesn't it? Nope. I missed. Oh, God. There we go. There we go. That looks nice and grody. Yeah, nice and rusty. Richard Dust, it was me! You're not in trouble or anything. Hey, Heretical Heretic, how you doing, man? Razor Dragon Tail? I wouldn't worry about that, man. You know, that's kind of a thing. Like, you should paint because it's a really cathartic and enjoyable experience, and it allows you to put your own flair and unique story on the table. If you're painting because you're like, oh, I just want to create masterpieces, well, you know, that you're kind of starting yourself off at a pretty unfair disadvantage, you know? Oh, another important thing, you can't see it, but I actually have 2 of these. These are like Citadel water pots. I have 2 of these, and the reason is I use one for metallics and the other for non-metallics. It's generally advised to keep them separate because the thing about Games Workshop metallics in particular, if you use non-GW metallics, I don't know if this applies, but the thing for GW metallics is that they have they're very shiny and they've got like a lot of little bits in them, and you want to keep those away from your non-metallics. Just a random factoid for you. Alright, so now we're going to do Stormhost Silver. And what we're doing with our Stormhost Silver is that we're going to just edge highlight, which I'm not using the correct brush for this, but that's okay. I'm not super worried about it because the highlighting we're going to do is just going to literally be me dragging just along the very, 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 very edges. We're not going to, like, once again, I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. These guys, at the end of the day, don't really matter. So we're just going to grab just the slightest little scritches. Don't want to use too much. That would be the worst thing, is to have, like, too much paint. I really just want those sharp edges. There we go. And then we're just going to lightly tap these little spikes just along the edge, just on the tip. Just so that if people look at them, they're like, oh, look, shiny spikes. Okay. I think that'll work. And what we could do is essentially go and put like a couple of random scratches along these edges. I don't think I'm going to do that this time with this guy. I think I want to keep him pretty... Because whenever I do that, I always hate the way it comes out. Because I end up making the lines like too thin or too thick. There we go. That looks good. Alright, so we can put him over here for the moment. Oh, Richard, you didn't need to tip, dude. I appreciate the nice words. Yeah, I did get your message. I thought I responded to it, but I guess maybe I forgot to respond to it. Oh yeah, no, I'm good, dude. Yeah, yesterday was like a whole thing. Oh, so by the way, put your paper towel in the center of where your camera and eyes are looking. That way... Ah, that's an excellent idea. Paper towel. Okay, so... thank you for the... Thank you for the tip, my dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, right. So what I was going to say is I know a lot of people have been like trying to keep up with this story. So I just kind of want to keep you all in the loop. So Chloe, my dog, for those unaware, Chloe's like the dog. She's my dog, and she's kind of like the channel mascot. A lot of people are familiar with her. Chloe's officially going in for surgery this week. So on Monday, I have to take her in to get her blood work done to make sure that she's like healthy and ready to go. And then on, I think, Thursday, she's going to have her surgery, where they're going to be removing a mass from her leg, which not going to be fun for her, but it's got to get done. So, you know, it's got to get done. That's all there is to it. So, for those who have been, like, keeping up with that, you know, there you go. AOS lore fact, what caused the Necroquake to happen? What caused the Necroquake to happen was essentially that Nagash cast like a super big ritual. And the whole point of his big spooky ritual was essentially to reverse the winds of magic in Shaiish. So in most of the realms, you have magic at the edges. So magic starts in the center and it pushes out to the edges. So all of the strongest magic is at the edge of the realms. Well, what Nagash did is he cast this big ritual that reversed that. So all of the magic now is drawn into the center of the realm, where he built this like giant black pyramid. And he basically created like a vortex that absorbs the winds of magic. I'm being stupid here, not using my fancy little thingamajigger. Nagash basically reversed the winds and caused a lot of stuff in the realm of death and across the realms, because death is important to all the realms, to just start going completely haywire, because he's a jerk. Alright, time to do some shading. So what we need to do is we're going to have... we need to apply Actrax Earth Shade to... No, that's not correct. No, that is correct. Okay, so we're going to apply Actrax Earth Shade to the stone. And then we're going to do Seraphim Sepia to the bone. Nuln Oil to the wood. And I don't know what we're going to do with the bird. I might do the bird later, because I think I know there's a video about the bird I can look at. Okay, so, and then after that, we're probably going to have to do some, like, cleanup in a few spots, but that's okay. So, let's grab a shade brush. What's Nagash deals with Black Pyramids? Is he just nostalgic about the olden days? Essentially, but the thing about Black Pyramids is they're not purely like him just being like, oh man, I just really like this design. There's also a whole thing with the big thing about Black Pyramids is that they are designed fundamentally to control and channel the winds of magic. So it's not so much that he keeps using them or creating them because he's trying to, like, bring back the good old days. It's because when he designed the first one, it was fundamentally designed to, like, you know, draw in the winds of magic. So, you know, why fix what ain't broke, right? Okay. So we've got our Nuln Oil, which is nearly out. You can't really see it because the lighting's all jacked, but we've got Actrax Earthshade. And then we've got Seraphim Sepia. So, start with Seraphim. We're just going to grab paint off this little bit here. And get to it. Get a good amount of it off the brush. We want to apply just enough that it gets into all those little nice little spots. And all those teeth. Okay, that's the only bone part. It's just the head. Yeah, I will definitely move the light before next stream, because I need it behind me. Nagash is a mega boomer? Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, so we're done with the Seraphim Sepia for now. Let's move on to Actrax Earthshade. And you got to be careful with Actrax Earthshade and Nuln Oil. I can't prove it, but you'll hear about it just talking to people in the hobby. You have to be so careful with those shades because they will do everything in their power to fall, like to tip over and spill everywhere. They are sentient and they are evil. Wait, no, that's not what I'm supposed to be putting. No, that's what I'm supposed to be putting Nuln Oil on. That's fine. Silly mistake. But yeah, these shades are evil, dude. They will legit do everything in their power to get off your brush or your whatever container you have them in. What's this thingy? This is a Citadel model holder, essentially. It allows you to, like, get a good grip on it so that, A, you're not holding the model, which makes it a lot easier to, like, paint without accidentally grabbing it and, like, smearing paint that you've already put on. And it also makes holding it a lot easier, just in general. Actrax Earthshade everywhere. It's going to be especially important here when we've got like these little cracks. trying really hard to get this on here without accidentally slathering my ghost in it. Which I'm probably failing at, but I'm just gonna try not to think too bad. More like Lord Master of Gotham. Wait, I got who? Oh, Lord... Oh, Ben, you ass. How rude. Once again, I'm not too worried about the flowers right now. We'll do that later. No, we never battled. The Denny's parking lot was purely hypothetical. I mean, Legend actually looks like he's in shape. He could probably just, like, run around me. I would tire out pretty quick. Do y'all think we should use... Do y'all think we should use Nuln Oil or Actrax Earthshade on the bird? Does anybody have an opinion on that? Like, it's kind of like a raven, so it's black. I'm thinking Actrax Earthshade would be better to give it like kind of a dirty look. By Texas standards, you're in good shape. Why you gotta do my state dirty like that? Hey, Changer of Ways, what's up, dude? You think Nuln Oil? Speaking of Nuln Oil, it's gonna go on this wood bits here. Oh, I forgot to do the bone spikes. I have nightmares of Nuln Oil from my childhood. Why do you have nightmares about Nuln Oil? What did Nuln Oil do? Where did the Nuln Oil touch you? Can you show me on this model? Have I ever actually punched anyone? No, I don't think so. I've tackled people, but I've never been in an actual fight. You know, I did football for a while, so like I know how to like throw my weight around to knock somebody over. Like I've hurt someone, not intention. Well, I guess intentionally, but like my goal wasn't to hurt them; it was just to get them out of the way. Because like I did sports growing up. Because I come from a sports family, and they didn't realize that music was my calling, or at least my childhood calling. until I was like 10 years old. So before that, I was forced to do sports, even though I hated it. God, I hated playing sports so much. Okay. Bladegeist Revenants are clearly the best unit. Bladegeist Revenants are really good. I've actually got a squad of 10 of them over on my shelf that will need to get painted at some point. Okay, so we have finished the shade portions for this guy. Well, for right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to... We're going to focus on... Why is the camera so, like, dark? I feel like it's auto-adjusting to be darker than it needs to. I'll have to mess with the settings later. Because, like, when I look with my eyes, and then when I look through the camera lens, it's, like, a little wild how different it is. But, so now what we've got to do is we need to start working on highlights on the robes and the hands. Then we're going to... Well, that's going to take us a while. So once we're done with that, we'll be ready to start hitting up the... areas we just shaded. Because shade takes a while to dry. Daniel! Hi, Sotek. I'm thinking about writing a rap battle between Nagash and Archaon. What would be some nice dishes they could throw at each other? Daniel, thank you for the tip. That sounds like a lot of fun. How about shoot me a message on Discord or Twitter, and I'll get back to you on that. Let me like think about it. Would I make a good Astartes initiate? Probably not. I'm pretty lazy. I'd probably die being turned into a space marine. Drakenhof Nightshade would give more of a midnight blue for the Raven. Ooh, that's a good idea. And I happen to have some. Drakenhof Nightshade. Good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's hit the bird with that. Listen, and the reason I'm painting Glittery Stalkers right now instead of a much better unit, because Glittery Stalkers are kind of garbage, the reason I'm painting these guys instead of a better guy is because I'm super rusty, and I am doing my damnedest to like remember how to paint. So I'm working on crappy models to start with. And then we will upgrade to better models. But I don't want to paint my Bladegeist Revenants right now. Or, God forbid, one of my characters. Because I'm super duper rusty. Also, thank you for the Drakenhof Nightshade suggestion. That's a really good idea. Also trying really, really hard not to hit the stone, because I don't want blue stones. I want a blue bird! There we go. What are my opinions on using other brands for paint? I think you should use whatever works for you. You should experiment with other brands. I personally just like using Games Workshop brands because it makes it easier to follow like a lot of the painting guides that I use. Though, to my understanding, most of the really big painters in the hobby sphere don't use Citadel paints. They use other paints. So, like, just use what's best for you, my dude. Okay, so... on the... oh, gosh, that's right. Okay, so... oh, God. Okay, so next we're getting into the hard stuff. So it's time for us to get to some edge highlights. Oh, man, I remember this part. This is going to be rough. Yeah, I remember this offers this in, like, the worst directions, which is so dumb. So basically what we're going to be doing now is we're going to so the cloaks on these guys essentially ranges from... I want to experiment with something real quick. I'm curious if I have the Citadel. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I can't have the paper towel directly under the model because if I have the paper towel under it, I think it's reflecting too much light because it's white back at the camera, so the camera's like, oh, I have to dim down. And y'all, I think, could not see anything. I think this just makes it... oh my god, yeah, I was watching a thing of it. That's so much better looking. So we're gonna just deal with it, it's fine. So what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna take Gauss Blaster Green and edge highlight all of this stuff, and it's gonna be a little wild. Yep. Time to work on the steadiness of my arm. Camera's white balance might be off, probably. Hey Gnarl, what's up, dude? Do I think we'll ever get a Grugni faction or the return of Grimnir or Valea? I would like that very, very much. I don't know, though. For whatever reason, it seems like GW actively hates Dwarden. So, you know, like, both their ranges, the Caradron range and the Fireslayer range, are some of the tiniest in the setting. And I have not seen any hints of there being a new race of dwarves. But, you know, here's to hoping. I would very much like that. I would really like there to be, like, a brand new dwarf range. But I don't know. Have I seen the Lost Kingdoms range? Pretty sure I have. But generally, I don't bother too much with third-party stuff because it tends to be made out of material that I don't like working with. Like, instead of plastic, they tend to be like 3D... They tend to be like 3D printed material. And 3D printing just isn't there for me yet. I have a 3D printed Saurian model that I bought, and I was really disappointed with it. Like, it just, like, I don't like handling the model, and they also, I think, tend to be smaller than I want them to be. Yeah. Alright, let's get to work. Okay. This is always super nerve-wracking. Especially when this guy's robes just go all over the frickin' place. turn him like this. There we go. There we go. Oh, sweet lords of painting, have mercy on me. Edge highlighting is so scary. I mean, I like Forge World resin more than 3D printing resin. 3D printing resin is like some of the worst stuff I've ever worked with, I think. You know, obviously everyone's opinion is different. There's some people that have no issue with it and work just fine with it. I was not one of those people. Like, I have a Morngul over there that I need to paint still, but like putting the Morngul together and like working with the material wasn't too bad. The Saurus model I got was like, oh my god, please go in the trash and never come out. Once again, not going to lose my mind over small mistakes. Just going to do my best to not make mistakes. Sotek is the standing hands of a surgeon. I do not. My hands, or my arms, are braced against my desk, which makes it much easier to have steady hands. Always irritates me when I don't have enough. The stream too spooky for me. It's too spooky for me too, man. Oh my gosh, it's already almost noon? Jesus. Time's flying! And I paint really slow. I'll probably do some practice off stream as well, just to try and keep getting better. I used to be moderately decent at painting relatively quick. Especially for like these types of models where like I wasn't gonna bust my balls over little errors because I was just like, okay, I want them to look good, but like I'm not gonna lose my damn mind if there's small errors. Especially because a lot of them I'll just tweak up later. So our main thing here is that we're just kind of going along these raised edges where we find them, to just be like, hey, eyeballs, you should look at this part. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, oh, that turned out almost perfect. Not quite, but, you know, that's in the right. Oh, gosh, okay, that was bad. Got the skink starter set. Anthony, so... Well, the first thing you should do is build everything. Get everybody built and put together, and... I'm trying to think what all's in the Skinks starter set. Isn't it just, like, Skinks... And... I'm trying to remember what else is in there. I hope they make a new Lewin model with fantasy. Dude, that'd be hype. I would be all over a new King Lewin. Okay, we're not going to highlight this yet, because this area right here, because those are actually some errors that I want to fix. Is Lewin in AOS? Sadly not. There are no Bretonnians in AOS. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. There's not even a Cav faction, which is just heresy of the highest order. That's one thing I really hope we get sometime soon, is a cavalry faction. Because let's be real, a fantasy setting sucks if you don't have a faction that can do a Rohirrim charge. That's just a fact. Like, so AOS needs to get on fixing that. Because until they can Rohirrim charge, they still have a major flaw. Ooh. Hope the Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings are already back in AOS. They're called Ossiarch Bone Reapers now. Dr. Bloody, the Seraphim will be getting some new models in February. They're going to get an Underworld warband that I'm super excited about. The models look really, really pretty. But yeah, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are basically Tomb Kings. Literally the only big difference between Ossiarch Bone Reapers is Tomb Kings is that they're not as Egyptian themed, because you can't copyright undead Egyptians. That's a little too, to my understanding, that's like a little too generic. So they're not. Nope. There you go. Nope, not. There you go. That being said, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are pretty cool. But they're basically Tomb Kings without chariots. They have most everything the Tomb Kings had. They have big constructs. They have a giant catapult. Except for theirs is like freaking massive. But they have like a big old catapult machine. They got a lot of bone boys. They have a lot of like priest wizard dudes. They've kind of got a Cetra. With Orphean Catacros, which I absolutely adore. Orphean Catacros, he's such a cool character. Dude went toe-to-toe with Nagash and actually accounted for himself pretty well before he got, like, chopped in half. But, you know, he's undead, so getting chopped in half was like a minor setback. I still love that whole thing. He gets killed by Archaon, and it gives him, like, mild heartburn, and he's like, oh, well, that's very interesting. Like, he had such an academic take to getting killed by Archaon, which is just fantastic. Most people fight Archaon, they're just like, oh, God! But Orphean Catacross is just like, oh, okay, well. We learned something. Is the dude in the Soulstorm book Gelt incarnated? In the Soul Wars. In the novel Soul Wars, one of the characters you're following around is Balthazar Gelt. Yes. Balthus Arum. One of those. But he's essentially the main character of the book. But yes, he is a... that is indeed Balthazar Gelt. Alright, I think that's about as good as it's going to get until I do a little bit of repair work. Hit up these little shoulder areas. I hate when you have, like, a raised surface, but it's not, like... It's not like a straight line. It's like a little curved. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, let's do some cleaning up bits on this part of the robe. That way I can hit it with Gauss Blaster in a hot minute. Maybe Felix can go back. I would not be surprised to see Felix come back in some fashion. I don't know what way he's going to come back, though. What's the difference between an Ether Void pendulum and a penumbral pendulum? One of those is... Ether Void is AOS... And penumbral is fantasy. That's the only difference. I want Krokgar to come back. Yeah, me too. Me too. I miss Krokgar. I miss Tehinan one as well. Okay, so we need to fix this little stuff. Look at that big old line I didn't fix. Grody. The other thing I don't worry about on these models that I think a lot of people struggle with, because I used to be one of them, one of the other things I don't worry about that's easy to worry about is, like, parts of the model that you can't see from the tabletop. So, like, underneath somebody's chin or underneath their cloak. I do not worry about that garbage. Ain't got the time for it. Can't see it from the table? Doesn't matter to me. At least on these guys. Krokar should come back as just himself? Yeah, I think so. I mean, Krokar, we didn't see Krokar die in the end times, and there's no reason he could not have survived. I mean, the dude's literally, like, immortal. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing, is he could be brought back as a Starborn as well. I don't think he needs to come back as a Starborn, though. I think Krokar would be really cool as Coalesced. There we go. Yes, it's much cleaner. Mom! Muy bueno! His mount died, though? Whatever. Make a new Grimlock. When Throg eventually comes back, do you think he'll be leading a host of Chaos Trolls and monsters, or be his own faction? No, Dr. Bloody, I think he'll still be Chaos aligned, because Throg did not really care for, like, the Warriors of Chaos, but he did, like, he was, like, an accurate, or a active, servant of the Dark Gods. I do think he would return as, like, I want Throg to come back as one of the special characters in the Beasts of Chaos book. Like, for me, I want the Beasts of Chaos to get special characters, because right now the Beasts of Chaos don't have any special characters. I would really like them to come out and give the Beasts of Chaos Krakenrock the Black, since he's still around and he's, like, actually active. But give them Krakenrock the Black, Morgur, and Throg as, like, their special characters. I think that would be hype as all get out. But it'd be great to see them, like, resisting the other powers of Chaos and trying to help, like, all of the different Beasts of Chaos show everybody who's boss. Because the Beasts of Chaos still feel a little too cowed to me. That was an unintentional pun. I just want to make that explicitly clear. That was not intentional. You want Queek to come back? I don't think Queek's ever going to come back. As much as I love him, I feel like his story was kind of done and told. Like, I think the thing about Queek is that Queek was, like, really, really tied in with Belagar and Skarsnik. And with Belagar and Skarsnik definitely not coming back, I don't think Queek really has a chance. You know. I think the Eight Peaks trio were kind of all doomed to die together in the same book. Ah, there. That looks pretty okay. That looks pretty okay. I'm happy with that. You can see everything. Looks nice. It's not too overbearing. Maybe throw a few lines right. There you go. There's stuff to look at, but it's not, like, overwhelming. Cool. Yeah, Rusty, we're all kind of in the same boat. Belagar is a Fire Slayer? Nah. I think Belagar would be... I think if they brought back Belagar, he'd have to be his own thing. You know, one thing I'm kind of hoping for is I'm kind of hoping they bring out a Grugni faction. And the idea behind the Grugni faction is, like, Grugni has taken all of, like, the spirits of the old dwarves, like the old heroes of the Dawi, and, like, reincarnated them into... like golem bodies or something, but he like brings them back to just open a whole new can of whoop ass in this new age. And then we could actually see the return of characters like Thorgrim or Belagar and all those guys. Like that would be so hype. Okay, so next let's do... We'll go ahead and we'll highlight the stone in a minute. I think what I want to do now is... Okay, let's do this stuff. Storm Vermin Fur. Okay. Where is Storm Vermin Fur? Gonna be one over here. Ah, here it is. Storm Vermin Fur. Alright, Hugh, have a good one. Do I think we'll get Ungrim or Thorgrim back? Ungrim, definitely not. Ungrim overlaps too much with the Fire Slayers. What happened to all the minor gods of Warhammer Fantasy? They did. They super did. Have the Skaven got any new models in AOS? They got a couple of new models in like starter sets, but they need they really need new Plague Monks and they really need new Clan Rats. Like, the mass garbage units that aren't, like, bad, but you just need a ton of them. Those models are still pretty out of date. Ungrim was the OG Fire Slayer? He was, but he got replaced by Grimnir. And the new Grimnir is Gotrek, so... And what are you going to do? Alright, so... What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the raised areas on this. What we're doing now is painting the ra wooden part. Which will be pretty subtle. But that is what we want. We want subtlety. By the way, chat, y'all have my permission to like freak out and spam when we're like 15 minutes away from the end of this hour. The hour we just started. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. Alright. Easy enough. That looks awesome. Thanks, Andrew. It's a little messy, but, you know, for my first model coming back after a really long hiatus, I'm not too upset with it. Let's see, for the bone. Next layer for bone is Kadak stone. Kadak stone. Man, that could be a lot of different places. Where is my Kadak stone? Those are metallics. That's Tyrant Skull. Sandry Dust. It's gonna be one of these. Baneblade Brown. Shabti Bone. Let's see, it's like a... Oh, there it is. Kadak Stone. Gotcha. Thanks, Dallin. What are we painting here? We are working on Glittery Stalkers. Glittery Stalkers are a Nighthaunt unit. So he's getting there. Right now we're about to put some edge highlight detail, well, some highlights onto the bone portions. And then after that, we're going to be highlighting the stone and the bird. Well, the bird we're probably going to cheat. But that's okay. They're Nighthaunts, though. They're basic troops. Manfred's still around in AOS. He's staying busy. That being said, I don't think we've heard from Manfred in a hot while. We haven't heard from a lot of the Mortarks in a while. Neferata and Manfred have been kind of MIA for a while. Because most of the focus has been on Catacross, Archon the Black, and Lady Ollander. Which I'm totally cool with, because I love Lady Ollander. But I'm sure the vampire players are eager to see the Rulers of the Night come back soon. Okay, so we're just going to pick just the raised little spots here. Okay, we didn't spill anywhere. Good, good. And the actual bone. So we want to hit the teeth and the jawline. water that down just a hair, a tiny bit more. Nose bone, the ridge of the eye. Thinner! Thinner! There you go. There you go! Not so thin that it runs, but thin enough that it doesn't... that it comes right off the brush. Beautiful! Alright. That's it for the bone right now. Man, I'm getting hungry. What should I do for lunch, chat? Maybe I'll have fuzzies for lunch. That sounds good. Any lore on the Fallen Gates near Hexawaddle? The Fallen Gate basically seem to be either a portal to the paths of the Old Ones, or it was a interactable nexus point between the Warhammer planet and the gateways at each of the northern poles, like one of those smaller portals that would allow you to step through. But either way, it's not something you want to open, which is why the Lizardmen got so pissed at the elves for opening it. Alright, and then... let's do the stone next. So for the stone, we want Dawnstone Gray. Dawnstone. I see some over here. Which is bigger, the Bad Moon or an elephant? Definitely the Bad Moon. The Bad Moon has a smaller moon. It has satellite moons. One of which is Skarsnik. Allender has a sick model. She does, dude. I'm so excited to paint Allender. I've got her built over on my shelf, but I'm not going to touch her for a while. I'm going to paint most of my infantry stuff. Shawarma, says Richard Tuss. I've never had shawarma. Is it good? The only reason I even know shawarma exists is because of that goofy clip from the first Avengers movie. I know nothing else about it. But I do need to start, I do want to start, expanding my horizons. Especially into more foods that have vegetables involved, like chicken and veggies. Like a lot of Asian meals I know are big on that. Because, man, I'm struggling right now to have, a healthy diet. Just because, a lot of the food that I like doesn't really lend itself... you know what? I think it might be better to dry brush this part. Yeah. Skarsnik is a moon? Yep. Skarsnik is a moon. It is true. Gorka Morka, a.k.a. Gorkan Mork, turned him into one. For being such a badass. Which, good. He deserved it. Skarsnik was awesome. And he deserves some recognition for his efforts. Good on him. Go on a culinary trip? Something like that. My big issue is that I'm really particular about like the texture of my food. Like I cannot handle food that I think of as slimy. That shit, oh my god, it makes me want to hurl. Okay, that's still a little too much paint on there. Let's try that. There we go. And we won't be able to get all the edges dry brushing. Some of this we're going to have to go back and do, like, detail. Actually, you know what? I honestly think the only thing we can dry brush really effectively is this part here. Anybody know what would be a good dry brush to finish off the feathers on the bird? So the feathers right now are functionally, it is Abaddon Black with a shade of Drakenhof Blue. Any good ideas on how to finish it off? I think the last dry brush I want to do on it is like a gray, but maybe we should hit it with like another blue layer just to get a little more flavor. Some flavor. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, and then I think I can get these details right here without accidentally hitting my ghost. Okay, the rest of that I think I'm going to have to do manually. Oh, you know what I really got to do is oh yeah, dude, I love bell peppers. Oh, I love bell peppers. I need to eat more roasted veggies. The big thing I need to do is like the hot thing right now that more and more evidence keeps coming out in support of that I need to hop on is getting my gut bacteria in a good place. Because I'm sure mine is tragic. But I don't want to like... I wish they had pills for it, but I don't think they do. Like probiotics. I need to find a probiotic that I like. I tried drinking that, like, nasty-ass stuff you can get at the store. I forget what it's called. But there's, like, this, like, stuff that looks literally like garbage water that apparently is, like, some of the best stuff to do that for. But I can't handle the taste, dude. It's so nasty. Oh, it's nasty. Oh, there are pills? Oh. Well, I'll just do that then. So, like, yogurt? Yeah, yogurt is probably one of the ones I need to get into. I'm not a big I don't think I've ever had yogurt in my entire life. There's a depressing amount of things I haven't tried. Growing up, I had a very, like, safe... I don't know. I was one of those kids that, like, I would rather die than try something new when I was younger. You know, like, when my parents would try and get me to eat something that I really didn't want to eat, but that was, like, what we had for dinner. My parents would be like, all right, you can either eat this or you can go to bed hungry, and I would go to bed hungry. Like I would just go on a hunger strike and refuse to eat. Which was, I'm sure, very distressing for them, and I'm not proud of it, but you know, I was a kid. What are you gonna do? The hell was that? Anybody else hear that? Well, I take vitamins, but Razor Dragon Tail. Oh, well, thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate that. Hope you are doing okay, dude. I do need to go see my doctor. I don't want to, but I need to. Every time I see my doctor. Because of my current insurance, the person I go to is this little like Indian lady, and I swear every time I go in there, the only thing that happens is that she's basically just like, yeah, you're doing okay. You're just, fat. And it's just like, thanks. Like, she's just like, have you tried being not fat? It would greatly improve your health. Which I know she's not wrong, but it sucks. There's nothing fun about paying someone to just, like, tell you something you already know. You know what I mean? But I do need to go in soon. It's been way too long since I've had a checkup. Because, freaking, like, I refused to go for when they wanted me to do my checkup because the freaking virus was, like, at god tier capacity. But it only keeps getting worse right now. So, like, I've been trying to wait it out, but now we're literally at, like, 9/11 a day in the States, which is just wild. Calgar blue with Xerneas purple. Oh, okay, that's a pretty good idea. I don't know if I have Calgar blue, but I can hit something pretty similar. We're looking for like a dark blue. Oh gosh, is that the... Oh, I hope that's not the darkest blue I have. Oh no, that might be the darkest blue I have. In which case I might have to make do. Oh wait, no. I've got Cantor blue. That could work. I also have got. Okay, so for the bird, I mean, we could go more purplish. And like hit with Nagaroth Knight, but I'm kind of thinking. I've got like some dark grays. I wonder if it'd be better to like do like a little bit of a dark gray. I think it might be better to go like a bluish dark gray, because a lot of dark grays lean more towards dark blue. So we could do like Dark Reaper, which is pretty bluish. So we could do Dark Reaper on the bird, and then finish off with little highlights of like Xerneas purple. Because I don't really have a super dark blue. I mean, I could mix some colors. Where's my color advisor? Kelf, are you still here? Do you think it would work to do... Do you think it would work to go Dark Reaper and then into Xerneas? Or do you think we should, like, mix Cantor with some black to bring it down a bit and then top off with Xerneas? I mean, I could also do Nagaroth Knight and then finish with Xerneas. So it's just like a purple gradient. Dark Reaper. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll go Dark Reaper and then finish off with Xerneas purple. So we'll just dry brush on the Reaper. Anybody got any weekend plans? Work? Yeah. Hey, Jake Woo, what's up? Also, I think tonight... Oh, come on, open. I think tonight we might play some Vermintide as well. I'm kind of feeling it. But we'll definitely do that after the charity stream. Come here, bird brain. Actually looks pretty good. I don't know what we're going to do about the beak. Because that's definitely going to be in the yellows. But I am not used to painting with yellows. Dude, scalping is such a, like, degenerate thing. Like, I realize capitalism is just kind of, like, innately evil, and that's just, like, one of those things that's just gonna happen. But, God, I wish there was something that could be done about it. Scalpers are just the worst. They're the worst! They're just assholes. Ravens have black beaks? Oh, yeah, you're right, they do. Well, that makes life easier. What about their feets? Their feetsies. We live in the most boring dystopia. It's true. It's absolutely true. We do live in the most boring dystopia. That is 100% accurate. Yeah, you're right. The beak can stay black. But what about his feetsies? Whoa, okay. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of like very lightly get some purple highlights. Along a lot of these edges. Good grief. So many edges! Focus, camera, focus. Probably should have edge highlighted or dry brushed this as well. But once again, not super worried. This guy's literally going to be on the field for 5 seconds and then die if he's not sitting on an objective. Okay, I should 100% be dry brushing this feather part. Oh, that actually has kind of a cool flare to it, doesn't it? Let's just focus on the edges, and then we can dry brush like the actual like feathers. Yeah, because I'm wanting to upgrade my PC pretty soon, and I was like, oh, I could afford a 380 or whatever that like new graphics card is. Like I could do that, but I don't know when that's gonna be in stock for more than like half a millisecond, you know. That stuff just vanishes. It's just a fart in the wind. Like, at that point, do you just, like, hop on a waitlist and just pray? I wish glaive wraiths were actually... I mean, glaive wraiths can be really good. They can catch people off guard with how dangerous they are on the charge. It's just that, like, you have to take awkward numbers of them. And they're also they're relatively squishy. And there's just better things. It's really not even that the glaive wraiths themselves are bad. It's just that they're not as good as some of the other things out there. You know, it's like, oh, I could have glaive wraiths, or I could have, like, freaking blade geists. And blade geists are amazing. So I think we'll just hit his, like, eyeball. A bit of, more black. Well, he doesn't have an eyeball, actually. He's undead, so he actually just has an empty socket, but you know what I mean. Okay, I'm actually pretty okay with that. I think the bird's got, like, a little bit of a nice purple tinge to it. We'll just hit his eye socket, and then, I don't know what we're going to do about those feet. Warhammer 3 is a couple years off. I disagree. I think Warhammer 3 is at most a single year off. Their legs are more ashy gray, though? Really? I'll look this up. Let's see. To Google. Crow... Wait. Do I want a crow or a raven? I want a raven, right? Raven feet. Oh, yeah. They're, like, super dark. Damn. Okay. Well. Makes that easy, I guess. We'll just, like, slap them with some, Let's slap it with some, like, Mechanicus Standard. Nah, that's probably a little too dark. What's just below Dawnstone? Dawnstone's too bright. I think let's hit it with some... What is this? Here. Ashen Gray. That'll work. Have you ever tried Warcry? I have. I played Warcry a little bit. Warcry didn't really hit it off with me when I played it the first few times because I didn't really care for any of the Chaos Warbands that much. So I tried playing Nighthaunts, and the Nighthaunts were like really cheesy when I first played. I'll probably give it another shot at some point. But the Nighthaunts were like really oppressive because they fly. So they get to ignore all the terrain rules, basically, which, like, in Warcry, height and terrain and all that stuff is pretty freaking important. So being able to just, like, ignore that shit is a little ridiculous. Oh, that's what that noise is. I was like, what is that noise? It's my headset running into the camera. I would lean my head over. It sounds like someone's like trying to start a chainsaw or something. There's your other feet. There's your other feet. Purple bird. Alright, and then we'll do like another highlight on the feet that is Dawnstone. Okay, real quick, I want to drop some Abaddon Black into his eye socket. And then we'll probably do like a edge highlight of Skaven Blight Dinge or something. But he's definitely an undead bird. He is not a living bird. We want that black beak. Okay. Do I use Blade Geist? Does a bear shit in the woods? Of course I use Blade Geist. Blade Geist are amazing. Okay. So, we'll let the bird sit for a hot bit. Let's go ahead and finish the stone. So, the last layer on the stone is Administratum Gray. Administratum Gray. Where art thou? Is it this one? Oh gosh, come on. Get out of there. Come. Nope. That's definitely a bright blue. Oh, right. Those are for my Dread Maiden ladies. Okay. Let's see. So many paints! be around here somewhere. Aha! Admittus Throtum. I'm so pleased that my paints haven't, like, devolved into just, like, mush, considering I haven't painted in at least 6 months. Like, they seem to have all maintained their, like, quality. I mean, they were all properly sealed, so, you know, you'd hope so, but you can never be too sure. But a good shake. Error prevented shooting. Oh no. Turn the camera off and on again. Okay. Oh no. What happened? What do you mean you got an error? Hold on. I'm gonna finish this little bit I was working on real quick. Hold on, chat. I think y'all's image just froze, so that's not a huge deal. Give me a hot sec. Still having to get used to this camera. It does seem very finicky at times. Like most expensive equipment. It's like, oh, you paid like $1 billion for me? Well, I'm just going to be a huge pain in your ass. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Hey, Psylockic Bear, we are doing good. My camera just shut off for some unknowable reason. Well, actually, if I had to guess, something probably jerked the battery or messed with it. But, so, y'all's image is frozen for a hot second, but that's okay. I'm trying to finish a little part right here. But our stream is nearly done anyway, because the charity stream starts in a little while. But don't go anywhere, because I want to send you all over in a big raid, especially the Twitch people. I don't know if he's doing it on Twitch, actually, now that I think about it. He might be doing just pure YouTube. Hopefully he's doing it on Twitch as well. Mr. Voice Snacks. Wait, what? Will you bless me with an Ossiarch Bone Reaper pick? What do you mean an Ossiarch Bone Reaper pick? Okay, let's see. Why did my camera turn off? Everything's still plugged in, right? There we go. Oh, and of course it got rid of y'all's thing. There we go. Oh no. Fix. There we go. Okay, so bird looks good. Tomb looks good. Let's go ahead and finish the wood. What do I need for that? Skaven Blight Denge is the last color. Okay. I saw that here a hot second ago. At least I thought I did. There it is. Skaven Blight Denge. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Check out all like slow for a second. Voke Mortian or Mortisan Bone Reaper? I'd probably go with the Bone Reaper or the Mortisan. Ooh, gosh, this stuff is like super sludgy. There we go. There we go. Okay, so use our small layer brush for this. Get a good amount of it on the brush, relatively speaking. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Too much, too much. So this, we're just going to do the lightest little bits on the wood here. Just these raised surfaces. It's good. All right, Thomas, have a good night, dude. Thanks for being here. Okay, we're almost out of time. Let me check. Something real quick. Do I know if CA will fix the... Dr. Pelley, I have no idea, dude. Hopefully they will. Oh, dude, CJ, those riders are looking really good, dude. Awesome. Okay, we got about 10 minutes. What do I want to finish up in 10 minutes? I don't think we're going to bother starting the flowers. Let's finish the bone. We can do that. We can finish the bone. To finish the bone, we want pallid witch flesh. Okie dokie. That is over out here, I think. Shop 2 bones, screaming skull, iron arc flesh, morghast bone. Oh, is that it? Nope, that's screaming skull. Oh no, I see it. I see it. Pallid witch flesh. Yes. The witch flesh. Orphean, you're all good, dude. I do like Vokbortian very, very, very much, but I feel like he doesn't really get as much mileage in tabletop. Any tips for a legendary Krokgar campaign? Yeah, build lots of walls, expand slowly, and get Krokgar as absolutely beefy as you can. Also, because he has discouraging effects now on his attacks, you probably want to build him around a anti-leadership build. So, get him on Grimlock and make sure he gets the Regiment of Renown Dreadsaurian, the Shredder of Lustria, because it also has like a big leadership debuff aura. And if you stack those on top of Terror, he'll make a really bad time for a lot of your enemies. And just kind of look for any further leadership effects you can pick up. Where's my extra small brush? There it is. Pallid witch flesh. I will, one thing I'll make sure to do, I think before the next paint stream, is I'll make sure to kind of have like a list of topics. That way I could just ramble. Because I imagine most people who are listening are either trying to fall asleep using this ASMR-wise, which is totally fine. Like, I love the idea. I use a lot of creators like that myself. Or they're people painting or cooking or studying or whatever, so they're not really able to, like, chat a lot. It's mostly like lurkers. So I will make sure to come to the party equipped next time. This was mostly a test stream, I think, more than anything else. Hopefully y'all are enjoying yourselves. I know it's not the most entertaining thing in the universe. We gotta be really, really careful here. Pallid witch flesh can get really out of hand really quick. You just want to lightly graze these bones. Especially the teeth. Driving, need to stay awake. Oh, goodness. I don't know if this is the... I don't know if this is the best kind of stream to listen to if you're trying to stay awake. It's literally just like me occasionally talking, but then I get really quiet when I'm like trying to paint. It's not a very energetic stream. Don't fall asleep. Oh man. I don't miss doing that. I used to go on like really long drives. Like I could do it really well before I got my anxiety. I was like, oh, I could drive for half of eternity without any issues. But I don't know if I could do that now. There we go. Nice and spooky. Okay, bones are done. Hey, would somebody in chat do me a favor? And, would I ever paint Lost Kingdom miniatures? Maybe. Hold on, let me show you something. Tell me, is this a Lost Kingdoms miniature? And I can answer your question for you. Where is he? There he is. Dog fur. Jesus. Get out of there. Get out of there. It is truly shocking how her fur just gets everywhere. Doesn't matter how much I vacuum. Doesn't matter how much she gets brushed. It's just fucking everywhere. Anyway, is this a Lost Kingdoms mini? Because I bought this guy. I was actually thinking to use him as a standard bearer, but I just really don't like the feel of the mini. It's like it's so like sticky, and it's also a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I was probably expecting it to be more like this big instead of this big, but like this big. So he's pretty small compared to like regular Saurus models or Saurus characters. I was pretty not enthusiastic with the size. Amongst other things. But yeah, I know. I'm just not a fan of the range. Okay, so real quick, I need to check exactly what the deal is here. Like, no, don't get me wrong, it is a cool looking model. I haven't had like the best time with it. Let me check what the deal with Voice Snacks is, real quick. Because I think he's gonna go live here pretty soon. Question is, where is he doing it? Okay, he's doing it on Twitch. It looks like. Yeah, awesome. So we'll get to do a raid. Okay. We'll get to do a raid. Cool. So, let's actually go ahead and start getting ready for that. Anyone who wants to participate in the charity raid, start heading over to the Twitch channel. So, which is www.twitch.tv/loremaster of Sotek. I would really love to be able to send like a big raid onto his stream and support him, while also like, and I'll be giving some financial support as well. But yeah, we're pretty much out of time. So thank you guys for joining me. I know this was a little scuffed or messy. It wasn't quite as smooth as I would have liked it to be. but hopefully it was enjoyable and like fun to watch. I do really appreciate all you guys coming by. Here, I'm gonna move my microphone back over to my PC desk. So, it's today. Yeah, today is the 12th, right? Saturday the 12th? It is today. Voice snacks. You ain't got Twitch. You don't need to have a Twitch. You don't need to have a Twitch. What we're gonna do, you don't even need a Twitch. You're just participating in like a little party, essentially. You don't need an account. You don't gotta do anything. You just gotta exist. But yeah, it looks like we're pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to his Twitch channel, see if he's live yet. Okay, he's not. He's live, but he hasn't started yet. We're gonna wait till he starts. Does anybody have any last questions for me before we're done? So anyone on YouTube that wants to pop over to Twitch. Here, I'll post the Twitch link in chat. How about that? Go here. Indulge me. And Twitch, just sit tight for a hot sec. But yeah, we're done painting for now. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys had a good time. Sorry, my green screen is like to the side. I had a good time. I hope you all had a good time. And all that jazz. Thank you very much to everyone who tipped today. I really appreciate that. You know, while that's certainly never required, it's always very appreciated. So, yes, he's live.
It is warm under this blanket. Oh my god.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
All right.
Welcome to the stream. It's so good to see you.
Great. So let's go launch a raid, yeah? All right. So yeah. I appreciate you all. I love your faces. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and take care of yourselves and all that jazz. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the YouTube stream. So YouTube, thanks for being here. Pop over to this place right now. Do it right now. Pop over to that. Just go to that link. Go to that link for just a little bit. Indulge me. And then I'll send you guys off on a raid. And all that. Waiting for my YouTube self to catch up with me. Over. Okay. I'm going to shut off YouTube.